Hi, I'm Tobias, a UX designer and CareerFoundry mentor. I've been in the industry for about 10 years now, and I've seen a lot of portfolios in my time. As a designer, your portfolio is your secret weapon, so you really want to get it right. And today I'm going to share my top tips for creating a killer portfolio. I'll also show you how to grow your portfolio and talk about some absolute no-goes. UX portfolios tend to follow a very standard format these days, so use this to your advantage. When structuring your portfolio, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. Just browse the web, find a few portfolios that you like, and emulate the basic layout. Sure, it's not the most creative approach, but it can make your portfolio more user-friendly, as recruiters will already be familiar with the format. When creating your portfolio, you need to market yourself correctly. Whenever a recruiter lands on your website, they'll be asking themselves, is this person a UX designer? And in a split second, they'll decide whether or not they've come to the right place. So give them the answer they're looking for. It sounds obvious, but if you want to be hired as a UX designer, you need to label yourself as one. Here's a good example from Kristen Maggie's portfolio. Her bio reads, "Hello, I'm Christine. I'm a multidisciplinary designer focused on visual, UI, and UX design. I'm currently working as a product designer in Baltimore, Maryland." There's absolutely no doubt as to who she is and what she does, and that's the level of clarity you should aim for in your own portfolio. The purpose of your portfolio is to tell your story. How did you end up here? What makes you a great designer, and why UX? Even if you don't have a design background, there are ways to make your past experience relevant to what you're doing today. The trick is to find the links and tell a coherent story. Take Claire, for example, a former nurse turned UX designer. On her portfolio, she explains how her experience as a nurse prepared her for a career in UX, highlighting similarities such as empathy and a user-centric approach. So many things are transferable. You just need to tell your story right. Now you've made it clear you're a UX designer and you've captured the recruiter's attention. What next? They want to see some of your work. When showcasing your project, it's so important to focus on the process. What makes a great UX designer is a deep understanding of the process and its purpose, and it's not about having the best idea or creating the best wireframe. Potential employers want to understand how you work, how do you solve problems, and how do you come up with ideas. Introduce each project with a meaningful headline, stating your role and how you contributed. Write an intro paragraph where you explain the problem and what you set out to achieve, followed by an account of the process in your own words. And share the evolution of your project from paper sketches to mock-ups to high-fidelity comps. Employers want to get inside of your mind. They want to see how you break down design thinking. So try to convey that in every case study. When putting together your portfolio, play to your strengths. I know it's tempting to include every little thing that you've ever done, but no recruiter wants to read through 10 pages of text. Your portfolio is a careful curation of your UX designer image. Think about how you want to present yourself, or rather the kinds of jobs you want to get hired for, and handpick those elements and play up to this. If you want to focus on user research, emphasize that in the process and in your case studies. If you're also interested in UI design, then include color palettes and typography and final UI mocks. If you're not sure whether to include something, just ask yourself, how does this help tell my story? Is this relevant to the kinds of jobs I want to get hired for? Your portfolio should create a holistic experience. You don't need to demonstrate every single skill or technique you've ever used. It's enough to highlight those that are relevant to your job search. You want to show employers that you're a great designer, but you also want to show them that you understand business. If possible, include measurable outcomes from your design projects. Maybe you've redesigned a website and saw an increase in signups. If you have this data available, definitely include that. If you don't have any numbers at hand, don't worry. There are other ways to let your business knowledge shine through. Think about wording. When outlining the problem statement in a case study, talk about the business objectives. This shows that you know that you design for both the user and the company. Remember, UX design is about business, not art. So try to convey that in your portfolio. Photos are absolutely crucial to telling a good story. So make sure you fill your portfolio with them. I'm a huge fan of action shots as they really show that you're a hands-on designer. Whether you're working on a wireframe, reviewing some sticky notes, or leading a creative brainstorm, capture that on camera. If you forget to take the photos, well, you can always stage them later. Just don't do stock images. It's also nice to feature any artifacts that help document your process, such as iterations and sketches of your work. As they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. If you're new to UX, you're probably also wondering how you can grow your portfolio. First of all, let me reassure you, you're not expected to have loads of projects. As long as you can show how you work as a designer, quality wins over quantity every time. Now let me share a few strategies for growing and enhancing your portfolio. If you can get involved in real-world projects, these are the most valuable pieces of your portfolio. This can be a bit of a catch-22 if you don't have any experience, but there are ways around it. Search online for volunteer projects or ask around in your network if there's anything design-related you can help with, even if it's unpaid. In addition, go back to any work you've done previously that used elements of UX, such as showing empathy for customers or conducting research. You can include these examples in your portfolio to show that you understand how the design process works. A common tactic among newbie UX designers is to work on mock projects. You basically set yourself a hypothetical UX mission, such as redesigning an existing website or creating a mobile app. And the aim is to show potential employers that you think like a designer and that you can execute a project from start to finish. A great example of this is Priyanka Gupta's redesign of the Sephora app. She carries out real user research to identify a problem and then redesigns the app to solve it. She documents the entire process from start to finish, complete with action shots and before and after screens. But remember, if you do include a mock project, it's important to be transparent and make it clear that you're not affiliated with the brand in any way. Believe it or not, blogging is a great way to enhance your portfolio. Even if you're writing from a beginner's perspective, topical blog posts show that you're truly passionate about UX. Pick a topic that interests you, say virtual reality or voice design, and start researching. Learn as much as you can about the topic and craft this into a blog post. Why does it interest you? What have you learned? Why do you think it's such an important topic? Blogging adds a unique dimension to your portfolio, helping you stand out and make a lasting impression. We've talked plenty about what makes a great portfolio. Now let's go over some portfolio no-gos. Here are some common portfolio pitfalls to avoid at all costs. First of all, don't make your portfolio too long. Think short and to the point. And remember the story you're trying to tell. Secondly, don't just show pretty pictures. Employers want to hear about your process, so keep that in focus. At the same time, don't neglect the UX and UI of your portfolio. You're a designer after all, so make sure it looks good and works well. Don't get lost in the details. Only include those elements that are really relevant. And finally, don't get hung up on quantity. Focus on presenting just a few case studies really well. So there you have it, everything you need to know about creating a killer UX portfolio. For more tips and inspiration, head over to the CareerFoundry blog. Thanks for watching.